Deadpool 2 is much like Deadpool 1. Okay, that should tell you everything you need to know. Bye. I just remembered I have a lot more to say. So anyway. One thing that makes Deadpool 1 works is that the movie gave the audience what it wants at the very beginning. Fourth wall breaking jokes, for example. Seriously, my brothers didn't expect the fourth wall breaking jokes to start in the opening credits. They had to rewatch it in order to get all the jokes in the beginning. The audience also got something at the very beginning that they wanted too. Deadpool being Deadpool. Him in the suit, playing around, making comments on things, or finding something interesting like a pamphlet for a Segway horror tour. Deadpool 2 begins that way as well. Right to the punch with fourth wall breaking jokes and Deadpool in his suit being Deadpool. But this sequel, as well as the first one, knows not to have too much Deadpool in the movie. Let's be real, Deadpool is a great character for meta joke. But if the entire movie was nothing but Deadpool, that character would be grating on people, even with Ryan Reynolds playing the character. Just like the first movie, Deadpool 2 knows to fill the screen in the movie with other characters for Deadpool to play off of, but also gives the audience a break from him before we get too much of a good thing. The plot of the movie begins with an event that I'll describe later, and that causes Wade Wilson to question what he is doing in his life and what to do now, which leads to him joining the X-Men that he's allowed to hang out with. As a trainee, Deadpool goes to Colossus and makes on Teenage Warhead to a police standoff with the mutant version of the distraught, dangerous school shooter. Deadpool, well, of course, does what he does and ends up getting arrested and went to jail, as well as the distraught mutant, who is Firefist, by the way. At the same time, Cable shows up and wants to kill Firefist to prevent the death of his wife and daughter. The prison scenes are not bad and with some memorable lines in the movie, and the action in this scene and throughout the whole movie is quite well done and inventive in places, like when Cable shows up. Then after Wade makes a break for it out of the prison, he plans to rescue Firefist, who didn't make it out, and protect him from Cable out of a feeling of parental duties for the needed purpose in his life that he's searching for. And that's where we get to team up with comic book characters, cameos, jokes, and Zazie Beetz as Domino. And speaking of Domino, Zazie Beetz was one of the greatest joys and surprises of this movie. She's confident, she has commanding presence, and plays off the other characters quite well. She also proves it's not about what is your superpower, it's how you use it. I would seriously watch a movie all about her, and I think there's a market for it. Brianna Hildebrand returns to her role as Megazon Teenage Warhead, and with Suzuki Katsune as Yuki, Megazon's girlfriend. Both of them could have more screen time and more of a presence in the movie, but that's a minor criticism. But what I do like about Megazonic and Yuki as a couple, they're cute together, and the movie never makes a big deal about it. They're just there. They're not for the male gaze, or to be objectified or fetishized in the way of, hey, two young lesbians, isn't that hot? Yeah! As these kind of characters have been portrayed in the comic books before. The movie points it out, but never makes a big deal about it. It's just normal, as it should be. One of the biggest problems with the movie is that the plot jumps around a lot. It doesn't feel ironed out and is not smooth in its transitions from scene to scene. It feels distorted in places. But mostly the scenes we are abruptly cut to are usually scenes that make the audience laugh, and they generally do. The humor and the comedy across the board is really good and funny. There's a lot of good biting commentary on the genre of movies, the film industry, and the comic book industry and comic book fandom. Karan Soni returns to Dopender and manages to get a few laughs out of me. People mileages may vary with the comedy. If you don't like TJ Miller, for example, his scenes could be hard to watch. Another aspect of the story I have a problem with is something that happens at the very beginning of the movie, within the first 10 minutes. So this is not a spoiler. So in a way, it's not a spoiler. However, most audience would not be expecting this plot element happening because the marketing has not shown it at all. So it's kind of is a spoiler, kind of not, but I don't work for the studio marketing department, and I feel like it's important to talk about as part of my criticism. So I'll put a spoiler tag here. So long as this is here, I'll be talking about spoilers. I also put a timestamp here when I'm done talking about spoilers so that people can fast forward and skip them. And now with a buffer for the stragglers who still don't want to hear spoilers, good, we should all be good now. Within the first 10 minutes of the film, Wade's girlfriend Vanessa dies. The writers and directors essentially fridge Vanessa, which causes Deadpool to want to kill himself. As Rebecca Watson mentioned in her video on Deadpool 2, women in refrigerators is a trope coined by Gail Simone to describe a plot device where a main character's story advances after his wife, girlfriend, partner, or just their crush is killed. This film is almost a perfect example of that sexist trope. Wade wants to kill himself because he couldn't save Vanessa, and that causes his need of searching for the purpose in his life and what do I have to live for anymore. The movie did the same thing to Cable. The whole purpose of Cable going back in time to the past to kill Firefist is because he comes home to his apartment being torched and his wife and daughter being burned to charcoal. I remember thinking, did they just kill Wade's partner to move his character motivation forward in the theater while watching Deadpool 2? But I completely forgot that they did that to Cable too until Vera Garcia, who I follow on Twitter, mentioned it. So even though this film takes a step forward in showing a young lesbian couple as just ordinary, this film takes a step back with reusing an old sexist trope twice in the film, for the most part. Now just remember, even though this movie has a very sexist trope written in the plot of this movie, I still enjoy Deadpool 2. A lot of people forget what Anita Sarkeesian says. It is possible, often necessary, to be both critical of the media we consume while enjoying it at the same time. Okay, spoilers done. Time to remove the warning. Welcome back everyone else. Now final thoughts. Just like in the first movie, while not great, Deadpool 2 is funny and most of the times and is really enjoyable. Has some really good action, solid for the most part in its plot and story execution, and when it's not, it makes up for it in other ways. Filled to the brim with lots of really good laughs. I remember I had to breathe the first time I watched it. My throat was sore, full of what the audience wants and what they expect, and just will please fans of the characters and of the first movie. Overall, check it out. And stay for the Easter eggs at the end of the credits. It's worth the price of admission alone.